Question, people. What do y'all feel about Jacy Jayne being the person to defeat Stephanie Vaquer? I'm not one to stunt someone's growth because I don't think much of them. I'm not just really too fond of them. But if they tried to go the less predictable route, okay, because I don't think anybody saw that coming. Stephanie Vaquer should have never been in NXT. She should have went straight to SmackDown or Raw. Same with Jordynne Grace, and the same with Julia. The problem is, stylistically, Julia, her matches look like shit. Like, Julia really can wrestle. But this WWE fit is just not her. When you guys heard Kenny Omega say, NXT, the WWE, period, just isn't for him. He wants to be himself, and he want to be the boss of himself. He want to express himself. Of course, we know Tony Khan is the boss there. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying like that he want to be let him be Kenny Omega, and that's what's not happening in the WWE with these guys. Some people adjust better than others, but that's why I say if you go back and watch Julia, all of you that think, oh, she can't wrestle, she's not gonna, go back and watch her in Stardom. You'll see, no, she can wrestle. Her fit in the WWE is just not, it's just not there. Her presence is not felt the same way. See, once again, when Stephanie Vaquer came through the Forbidden Door and fought Mercedes Moné, and she got beat by Mercedes Moné, you know what a lot of people assumed was going to happen? When her contract was up, she was going to come to AEW. But she didn't. She went to the WWE. Okay, great, cool, fine. When people got wind that Julia was coming, everybody, I remember the reactions, how all the celebrating, right? Now all of a sudden, you guys don't think much of Julia. The person that should have won that title, to be honest, two people come to mind for me. Actually, I can say three. The three people, okay, one of these three. One, Jordynne Grace, my top pick, who I feel like should have won that title. Two, I would go with Miss Parker, Jada Parker. And three, Sol Ruca. Now, off tops, I say Jordynne Grace. The reason I would put, personally for me, which it doesn't have to be in any order, but I say it in that order simply because, like I said, they constantly pump up Jada Parker to be this next big star, and like I said, she'll win a mediocre match or a meaningless match, then have the match that's going to put her on the next level, and she lose every time. Sol Ruca just started to come into her own. Really, she's been in matches and had some spots in matches, but I feel like Jada Parker is in more need of getting that rub right now than Sol Ruca is. Sol Ruca's still climbing, but Sol Ruca, one of those three for me. Jordynne Grace is far more polished than Jada Parker and Sol Ruca. She's every bit as polished as Stephanie Vaquer. And honestly, man, I like Jordynne Grace better. Honestly, I like her better. But I'm just saying, forget who I like. Jordynne Grace can put on with anybody. And I don't feel like she needed to be at NXT at all. And neither did Stephanie. And neither did Julia. But that's what they did with them. Now, Jacy Jayne, on the other hand, we'll just have to see what happens. Like, you might not initially agree with a move that's made, but, if she ends up being a good champion, or a great champion or whatever. I mean, that's yet to be seen, but I think this was more of them trying to be less predictable and throw a curve at everybody, because I think that people believe it would be like a Jordynne Grace. We seen Stephanie defeat her a couple of weeks ago, was it? Straight up just defeated her. She loses to Jacy Jayne. That's the part, and she beat Jordynne Grace clean. See, this is the part where I'm telling you guys, look at the juggernaut in TNA. Once again, big fish in a small pond type of treatment. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at Jade Cargill. I'm gonna let you be you. You give me who you are. We're gonna work with you. No, that's why it's so much different now. We want them on our roster, but once we get them, we're gonna water them down. There's nothing about Jordynne Grace that feels special right now, and the fans they've lost that intrigue about her. There's nothing special about Jade Cargill. I'm not blaming Jade Cargill. I'm not blaming Jordynne Grace. I'm not blaming Julia. I'm blaming the WWE creative and how they used them and their bullshit performance center. Because you see, this is one of the things that I've always said. When you watch any professional wrestler, you look at, like, you as an observer can see their strengths and weaknesses. When they hide their strengths and weaknesses and you're not sure about what they can and cannot do, that's a good thing. That's a great thing. But when you can clearly see, like, example, when they have different women trying to do certain moves on Nia Jax, and you can clearly see Nia Jax jump in the air so they can get, because they can't lift her up on their own. You can clearly see her giving the assist. That's not good, because you can see it. It's supposed to be where you can't detect it. It's like when somebody get clotheslined out the ring and they jump before they even get clotheslined, and it's like, okay. I seen a guy do a dive in TNA at I forget his name. Did a top rope, dove off to the top of the fucking the Ultimate X part of the whatever you want to call it, one of the towers, and you can clearly when he landed, he came down. How the fuck you got all these wrestlers on the floor and somehow you went right through them and still hit the floor, and not them? And you can clearly look at Moose, go, "Are you all right?" Cover your mouth, Moose. Cover, do one of those, like, they don't even do good acting. You understand what I'm saying? It's like sloppy work. It's like he got caught off guard, and the cameraman got to understand that, man. Come on, man. You guys are like, it's just a lot of sloppy stuff happening. Now, what I'm saying, too, is the way you use people, the way these matches are choreographed, it all plays a part. Like, we know Sting was really lifting Vader up. We saw him pick up Vader. We saw him get him up on his shoulder. We saw everything. We saw him body slam Earthquake. We saw Scott Steiner give a belly-to-back suplex to the Big Show. Like, all of these things. Even, for example, like, once you get a person up, like, let's just say, for example, when Goldberg, picked the Big Show up for the jackhammer, he still had to balance him up. So even if Big Show kind of like pushed up with his legs, great. You couldn't detect it. And once he got him up, he had to hold him up. See what I'm saying? You see these matches, and it's like the matches just look so choreographed, man. Like, you're not supposed to see it. It's like watching a movie. You know the movie's not real, but that's why the angles are given. So it looks like you're really being hit. The sound effects, everything, it has to come into play. Changing of the guards, man. I think Stephanie Vaquer is probably getting ready to get sent to SmackDown or Raw. And, of course, they're not going to leave NXT undefeated. They're not going to leave with the belt. No, they're going to leave with the loss to that person. And that person is supposed to be the next to carry the NXT title, whether it's the men or the females, right? But the thing about it is, as far as Jacy Jayne, we just got to wait and see what happens with her. I don't think she's a popular pick, though. I don't think most people really want to see her with the belt. Well, like I said, we'll just see what happens. She hasn't done enough to gain interest of anybody to really care that she has the belt. This is just like, what the fuck are y'all doing type of moment. But we'll see. We'll see. I think that, I don't think you can send Jordynne Grace to SmackDown or Raw right just yet, for one, because you guys, her win-loss record, and like just the fact that you guys have made Jordynne Grace look so ordinary. All that body, all the muscles, and all that wrestling ability, and she just looks so ordinary. Let's not forget how, like, a month and a half ago when she got hit with a hip attack outside and she was finished. Like, this is the juggernaut, man. Goddamn, she got taken out by a fucking by a pair of ass cheeks. A fucking pair of ass cheeks took her out. So I'm just saying, she still has some work to do in order, like, for you to rebuild her up and all of that. And I think it would have been more befitting for Jordynne Grace to win that belt, because let's just be real, man. You don't want to keep Jordynne Grace in NXT for a long time. She really needs to be on that main roster. She's that good, yeah. But this is what happens when you come to the WWE and then they want to fit you into what they want to fit you into. They don't work with you and say, hey, give me you. They don't even call her the Juggernaut anymore. And they shouldn't, to be honest with you, because there's nothing about her where you see her steamrolling through people, where you see that. Remember how Jordynne Grace would get hit, she'd jump up and she'd hulk up and and she'd turn the tide. And, I mean, it was Jordynne Grace. You don't see this now. Look, I give you guys an example of something, because biased people don't think. They don't really think logically. They don't. You see, like, I watch when Penta and Rey Fenix left AEW. It's like, I like them in AEW. I love them in AEW. But hey, like I said, people come and people go. But the Commander is better than Penta. The Commander is better than Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix in AEW was incredible. And that motherfucker was like, he could do all this shit. So bottom line is, Rey Fenix and the Commander, like, if Rey Fenix is in AEW right now, you get to see what Rey Fenix is made of. Rey Fenix in WWE, no. All he is he's been reduced to a little stunt man that can just do some moves, and it's all about, let's just have some spots in the match, but let's not have a great match back and forth. They don't really embody lucha libre wrestling in WWE. They just got luchas over there. Bandito is better than Penta and Rey Fenix. I mean, even when this guy does the gorilla press, that he does it with the one hand. I mean, everything, just the move set. In other words, they replaced Rey Fenix and Penta, and then they never lost a step. AR Fox, that motherfucker's incredible. Let me show you something, though. You see, for example, when The Undertaker, the one move he does that y'all probably love, and anybody else that does this move, I don't like this move. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's an AEW wrestler or not. I don't care who does it. When The Undertaker walks on the ropes, the person that he's holding onto their hand, they're holding him up. They're doing this to pretend they're trying to pull. You mean tell me a motherfucker so strong he can take one hand and hold you and you can't yank his ass off that top rope? The fuck out of here, man. We get it. Oh, he does the arm twist first, so he goes up to make it, they can't, the fuck out of here. They are protecting him and keeping him hold where he can, their arm, they're pushing up, holding so he can be, they can help balance him up as he walk across that top rope. We understand that. I'm not a fan of that move because, like I said, we understand that it's obvious what they're doing. The fucking Commander will walk from one turnbuckle across the entire rope, run all the way to the other side, and then do a diving move out. That shit is risky. But The Undertaker can't do that shit. That's real shit. That there's no, you're balancing me up. That motherfucker really runs across that shit, right? But I'm saying, you guys are more into the story, fake, without your help, I can't do this move. I can't pull it off without your assistance. You guys rather see that type of shit. You're WWE fans. You don't get it. If the Commander was in WWE right now, this is exactly my point. He'd have spots in matches, but the matches wouldn't be the same. The same with Bandito, AR Fox, or any of them. When it comes to wrestling right now in the WWE, I have to see to believe as far as them having like really good matches. Like I have to see. I don't feel like they really care. You've heard Bully Ray, you've heard Booker T, you've heard Zap Coulter, you heard the guy that sit there on this 83 Weeks show with Eric Bischoff sit there talk about wrestling is about spots. It's about moments. See, AEW is focused on wrestling. Yes, motherfucker. They don't have the same vision as the WWE, and they don't need to. They are a wrestling company that give you entertainment within their matches, surrounding the matches. They have a nice build-up, and they give you grown-up stuff. They're not giving you this bullshit that this watered down, let's put some half-ass matches on and focus on trying to make people laugh. Focus on, what are we watching, a fucking rap battle, or are we watching professional wrestling? Like AEW, they care about the whole presentation of all of it, okay? But they don't pride themselves in being a sports entertainment company. We don't need 2 and 3 of them. We already got WWE doing it, and right now they suck. So when you take these wrestlers from their natural elements, like, you gotta let the land animals be land animals, okay? But you gotta let the birds fly. The birds have to fly. Penta's not a land animal. Phoenix is definitely not a land animal, okay? You gotta let those birds fly, man. And then this is where people are going, this guy's overrated. He needs to go back to AEW. No, it's not. It's not that he's overrated. No, it's the way they're being used. And the fact that they come from AEW, no, we're not going to put them in that top spot just yet. If at all. And I see the majority of their work being done in AAA. That's now owned by the WWE. And them, like I said, just having spots in matches, and it'll be a lucha thing more so than just a professional wrestling thing. When you start to isolate people like that, they never live up to their full potential. And in fact, if WCW didn't use Rey Mysterio the way they did, Rey Mysterio wouldn't even been relevant in the WWE. Like if he had went to WWE and not WCW, trust me, Rey Mysterio would have been. He established himself in the WWE, and he had a style, a look, and a feel about himself that I think it was just undeniable with the fans. But they don't take luchas and do anything with them. They don't do anything with them. And that's why when people even, what about Mil Mascaras? What about Mil Mascaras? How often does his fucking name come up in the conversation? Only when they're talking about luchas. You see a top 50 greatest wrestlers of all time. How many times have you seen Mil Mascara's name in there? Case in point. So this is what I'm talking about. Once we start looking at wrestling like it's all supposed to be the same thing, not only are we not being realistic, but we're not appreciating the hard work that other companies are putting out to try to entertain us and give us some quality, wrestling that we can get into. So I'm not focused on any of you guys that run around here, wasting your time focused on this lame nonsense. I'm asking this question about Jacy Jayne because NXT as we know it, I've never been crazy about NXT. At the time that I had more interest in NXT, it's like I said, when they had Keith Lee and Mia Yim, and Austin Aries and Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha, and they had all of these people over there, it was more interesting then because these people knew how to fucking wrestle. Yeah, they knew how to wrestle. this version of what they have going on is just it's watered down and it's different. I don't find it interesting. And so when I see potential, when I see the talent, and I can see when they're being held back, this is what I'm telling you. This is why if you guys would take the stick out your asses and start to watch wrestling as a whole and stop just being so, oh, I'm WWE, that's your prerogative and nobody cares. But if you see these guys, you realize, like, nah, these motherfuckers really can wrestle. Well, how come they don't wrestle the same in the WWE? That's a good question for their creative, isn't it? And this is what I mean. Jacy Jayne, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens with her, but I'm just not feeling her. I'm just not feeling Jacy Jayne. But we'll see the way things go, man. And I don't know. Only because I'm giving you news about wrestling, man. Other than that, I wouldn't even be talking about it. And we're not always going to see like certain people the way others do, which is cool, and I get that. So if you like Jacy Jayne, hey, cool. I just don't feel, and like I say, it doesn't matter who I like and don't like. It's about what I feel is the right move. In this situation, Jacy Jayne to me is just, I don't know why they, other than, like I said, them trying to be less predictable with this move. I really don't see it. Jacy Jayne. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But, like I said, wrestling should not look so damn scripted and predictable, man. It shouldn't. It just should. I don't get paid for my ideas and thoughts, man. But my vision of what a wrestling company would look like if they really practiced and took the art to where they really cover this shit up to where you forget you're watching something that's not even a real sport. Yeah. But it would take some reshaping because people wouldn't be used to it. But those who would get it would be good at it because they would understand what they're doing. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm not shocked, y'all. I told you guys, don't be shocked. They get Jordynne Grace over there and she just is no longer what she used to be. I said this about everybody that comes there because I've been seeing this shit happen for decades, not just now. It's been happening. When they had the Texas tornado, when Kerry Von Erich came there, I'm like, oh yeah, I get to see Kerry now and this and that or whatever. And they used him. I mean, a lot of times people had issues. They were on drugs. They were doing something, like there was just backstage issues. So but they just changed him, man. He wasn't the same guy. All of these guys, when they came in the WWE, it doesn't matter who their lineage was. It doesn't matter, none of that, what they accomplished outside. It's like once they got them there, it was like, now we're going to torture you. Now we're going to take you, what the WWE was good at was taking characters and making the character stand out. But in terms of the wrestling, when they cared about wrestling matches, you saw it. When they didn't care about it, you also saw it. Right now is a time where they don't care. They always had the drama and all of this shenanigans and stuff going on where they would have some subpar matches, and you guys that sit up and say, oh, well, that was that era. No, it's always. John Cena's not the best wrestler, neither is The Rock. But popularity-wise, there's nobody bigger than The Rock. Not Stone Cold, nobody. This motherfucker not only a wrestler, he's a fucking movie star, the biggest movie star in Hollywood. He's not the best wrestler, though. None of them could fuck with Kurt Angle. None of them. But Kurt wasn't nearly as big as they were in terms of popularity. John Cena did an interview. John Cena said the reason that he's not wrestling anymore after this year is because his body is so beat up and broken down. He can't perform the way he used to. He can't pick up the big guys like he used to. The things that he used to do that made him stand out, he can't do those things. And he don't want to basically take the product. I respect him for that. But it goes to show you how fucking durable Sting was. Yeah. Goes to show you how durable Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin still is. I always say, even with John Cena, even the way he stand, if you look, the way he stand, he got that stand like it's either his back or his leg, something is, like he just had that stance, you know what I mean? Like how he kind of hunches over. But I respect that. I respect that. Because John Cena understands. You have people that will just milk this shit and milk it. Goldberg wants to come back for one more match. It's like, Goldberg, come on, man. You were that guy in WCW. You're like, when it's you, Sting. Well, like, I always was more into the strong guys, you know, like whatever. But I liked a lot of different wrestlers. But Goldberg was one of my top dudes. But at some point, man, you got to know when to hold him and know when to fold him, man. Like, why are you so hell bent on coming back just to lose to somebody? Who the fuck is Goldberg going to lose to that's going to put that person over? Goldberg is damn near 60 years old. Like, you know, at some point, enough is enough, man. Just saying. And then, you know, I've also heard conversation about his son wanting to become a wrestler. And remember, we heard about Sting's son wanting to become a wrestler and that he was living with Darby Allin and they were training every day hard. Maybe that's a moment and it's still going to happen, or maybe it didn't work out. Maybe his son couldn't cut it. I don't know. But those are things that we'll just have to wait and see. But as far as Goldberg goes, like when they were talking about the possibility of him coming to AEW, I didn't want to see that shit, man. And this is when Wardlow had got some momentum, and it was like, okay, because he comes there and it's going to be like, okay, Wardlow is like he's cut from that Goldberg cloth. So what? I don't like to see these guys come in the ring one last time just to fucking lose. It's like, for what, man? Bro, the show's been over for you for a long time now. It is what it is. And I'm pretty sure they're going to pay Goldberg a nice big fat check for him to show up. Otherwise, he's not going to do it if the money's not right. So it is what it is. But do we really care about this? I know I don't. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. What do y'all think about Jacy Jayne? I don't know what this does for NXT, and I know she's definitely not a better fit than Stephanie or Jordynne Grace or Julia. But Julia has already been back and forth, you know, on SmackDown. Stephanie as well had a title defense on there. She had a match on there, which I didn't understand why they felt the need to even do that with her being an NXT champion. But I know they do these things to get that audience familiar with who they want to push to get there as well. You know, also feel like maybe the SmackDown or the Raw audience will watch NXT because that person came there and had a good match or showed their face or whatever. But I think that Jacy Jayne, her being a champ now, I just think that means Stephanie Vaquer is about to go to the main roster. But Jordynne Grace, I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys love to run to the WWE, but once you get there, as long as you have that, you know, I'm just glad to say I'm here mentality, they're going to give you whatever the fuck they want to give you. And you can pretend to be happy, but 2 years go by, 3 years, next thing you know, here you are, Tony Khan. Hey, listen, I'm a free agent, blah, blah, blah. And at this point, you know, I don't know, man, because leaving TNA, I understood that was going to happen. But it's like I said, you always think the grass is greener. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a lot more money on the table for her there than there is in TNA. But the treatment that she's getting, it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys right now. Catch you guys on the next video.